Hi everyone, I'm going to try to show you how to make a tag blanket. It's not really a blanket, it is for babies, especially when they get about 4 months old and the teeth start coming in and they want to chew on everything. They love these things. I make mine small enough that they can hold them very easily and you can travel with them. It's really good if you make baby blankets. You always have some scrap leftover material, and that's what I use to make my tag blankets with. So it's nice to have something that coordinates together. So I made a sock monkey blanket, and that's the leftover material that I'm using. And the back of the blanket was fleece. So that's what this is. And of course I just had to sew to connect, and that's fine. And then here's the front. And this is what the pattern was on the blanket that I made. So this one, of course I got the 4 squares sewed together. I'm going to try to talk fast and move fast because it takes so long to upload a video. This one is measuring about 12 inches around. You can make these any size that you want. Like I said, I like to stay around 12 to 16 inches because it's just easier for them to hold. And then you're going to need strips of ribbon that are 5 inches long, and you can have the textured ones like this, or you can have the smooth ones or combine them. You can also use rickrack, but it's a little more expensive. This is about $2 a roll. Sometimes you get them on sale for $1 a roll. So let's see how fast I can do this. This is how I do it. Doesn't mean it's how you have to do it. Everyone has their own way of doing it. But I sell mine for about $10 to $12 a piece on my Etsy store. So if you want to save money, make your own. If you want to spend money, then get on my store and buy one of mine. And I do custom orders. So we're going to start with this. This is your top piece. And I didn't plan any certain order. I have a bunch of these already cut out. I'm just going to lay them out and just go as I go around. You can put as many or as little tags on the blanket that you want. So let me move the camera so you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these and fold them in half. And you're going to place them on the edge of your blanket. Trying to, yeah, closer, you can see better. So the first stitch I'm going to use is a straight stitch. And as I'm sewing, I'm going to put this down and sew across it, and then I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to sew across it. And it's going to be flat against it like this. So we're going to see how well this webcam does of showing you me sewing. So you just have your top piece. You can plan these out how you want to do them. I'm just going to do them randomly on the blanket. You want to not be super close to your corners. You want to be at least probably 1.5 inches, or no, probably 1 inch at least from each corner. Okay. And when I get done, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Of course, the bright colors are what attract baby's eyes. So you want some neutrals, but you want some flashy blues, reds, greens. Black and white works really good. So when you make a blanket, you got to think what they're going to be interested in. You don't want to do a solid pink or a solid blue or a solid white. You need something to break it up. And I'm really trying to go fast because it takes so long to upload a video. Okay, so I've got to the first corner, and we're just going to just keep on going here. Now when you get to this edge, it's okay that these two pieces are laying against each other. That's how they're going to be. I mean, you know, it was a little bit of time to sew these squares together for the top. You can use a solid piece if you have a design. This is just how I made it, and I saved a little time by going ahead and sewing them together before I started this video. But you can just cut a square out. You don't have to cut a design and sew them together and make a square. I have yet to find a baby that did not like these. And it's nice because when you're done, you know, after they've drug them around and gnawed on them, you can just throw them in the washing machine and wash them. They're easy to maintain. You're using your scrap material up. They are hard to find in stores. Usually you can find something similar, but they're going to be more expensive and they're not usually as nice. I have seen the pillows, but then, you know, pillows are hard for babies to hang on to. If you want to be really creative, you can buy or take apart old toys that have like the squeakers or the crinkly things that you find in toys, and you can put them inside these if you want to do that. Trying to see what I've been using. I don't want to use the same thing side by side. And you see it really doesn't take long. And it's nothing difficult. This is, you know, basic sewing going on here, so fun for kids to do as well. So there's your first step. And here you go. This is what it looks like. It's just a top. It's got a bunch of tags sewed onto it. So now we're going to attach the other side. So this would be the side I want to show out. So you want your top and your top together. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to sew around the edge and leave an opening, and we're going to flip it inside out just like a pillow. So first thing I'm doing is just getting all my tags to lay flat. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Just trying to get my edges together here. You can, if you want it to be spectacular and you're meticulous, you can certainly pin this down. There we go. I usually don't. It's small enough I feel like I can work with it like this. We're still using the straight stitch this time, and we're just going around the edges, and you want to come a little bit inside your first sewing. That way you're getting a good double stitch on these tags. Fleece is a little bit harder to work with because it wants to shift. I'm sorry if I'm not talking loud enough, but the fleece will shift on you. It's a little harder to work with. It is doable. You don't have to use fleece on the other side. You can use another broadcloth, cotton, minky fleece. whatever you want to use is fine. This is just what I had left over from the blanket, and I'm making it coordinate. And I'm just checking to make sure, you know, my tags are laying flat before I start. I'm doing a little back stitch there. And I'm going to sew a little bit on this corner and leave my opening in the middle. Little back stitch to hold it. Okay, so we've went around the outside and we've left this opening here. So all you have to do now is take and flip it. You're going to check your edges right now to make sure you did get them all, especially if you're a real beginner at this, because now's the time. If you need to go back and flip this the other way and sew again, you want to do it now before you sew this top up and have to open it back up. So I usually take my finger and run across the edge and poke really hard at the corners just to make sure I have caught that edge and everything is in there. Okay, so now you've got this opening, and this is really easy. If you've did pillows, you know exactly what to do. If this is your first time of doing this, I'm going to try to be descriptive. You can see where it's already wanting to fold in, so it's an easy little tuck, and it's the same with this one. See how I didn't even fold it. All I did was pull, and it automatically folds for me. See? Same thing, if you're meticulous, you certainly can get some pins out and you can pin it. I think this is small enough I can work with it like this. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to switch to a zigzag stitch, a zigzag stitch. And we're going to stitch this shut, but we're not just going to stitch here. We're going to go all the way around the edge again. This gives it 3 times that this has been sewed down, because you want these to be super strong. They will have 2 straight stitches and now a zigzag stitch. You know, a baby is not going to accidentally pull one of these out if you do these 3 stitches. So I'm going to start here and go all the way around. I'm actually going to sew from this side, because you always kind of want your top to look the best. Okay. And I'm just making sure everything is tucked. I'm sorry, it came untucked on me. Just make sure. I hate this is taking so long. We were doing so good. Okay. I'm just going to hold it down. You know, I kind of went slow over my opening here, but once I get past it, I'll be able to go a lot faster. Okay, last side here. A little bit more. Okay, and then back stitch just to lock it in place a little bit. Okay. Alright, and as you can see, these are on here. They are not going anywhere. If I can't pull it off, no baby is going to gnaw it off. And of course you got to go through and trim up your edges. And then there's the back. And then you have your front. Now what I do, and you don't have to, this is done. This is pretty well done. But what I like to do is, since I kind of have this zigzagging stitch going around and I have this 4 corners going, I'm going to go ahead and do a stitch across these lines and kind of stitch in the ditch with it. Okay, now this side. And back stitch to do it. Okay, so that is how you make a tag blanket. It's that fast, that easy. All I need to do is trim up a few of these, you know, strings, threads, and put it back up so I can see. There it is. It's done. It's that fast, that simple, that easy. I hope you all take an opportunity to make them. If you don't have babies, I'm telling you, if you get you want to get one for someone for a gift, they're going to love it. And you know, when you make it, it's homemade, it's one of a kind, and that usually means more to people than something that's store-bought. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. Till next time, bye.